Hey everybody, it's blerdywifey here. Thank you for rocking with me for another video. Today we're going to be talking about She-Hulk. It just ended on Wednesday. It's now Sunday. I had time to decompress, digest the show, and hopefully kind of go over things I liked, didn't like, my general opinions. Then we'll do a ranking of characters. Maybe I'll do another video again, just ranking episodes and kind of go into that since I wasn't recording when She-Hulk was out, but at least wanted to talk about my opinions on the show since, it's ended so closely to when I started. So, as always, please like, share, please comment below. Let's get this community bumping, and hopefully y'all keep rocking with me. I want to rock with y'all, and we build this together. So, like I said, this is about She-Hulk, and I gotta say, I think this show wasn't for everyone, and I think it was okay. Me personally, I love this new age of Marvel. I love that they can do these different shows, and some of it talks to people more than it talks to someone else. And I've talked to different people with different backgrounds and everything, and you can see how some TV shows, like some of the Marvel shows, they like some of it, some people don't like the other. Me personally, I'm a big fan of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Not a lot of people liked it, but I feel like it talked on themes that resonated with me and the people I know and the life I've lived, more so maybe than others, and that's fine. Just as I don't think I wasn't the craziest person about Hawkeye, but some people loved it, and because it spoke to them, and that's fine. But I think, like, for me personally, She-Hulk, not only with them deciding to go with this different route, which I feel like they've done with a lot of TV shows, where we're now doing a little bit more some things differently. The fact that She-Hulk decided to go with this different route and really nail into this whole women's struggles and more women-centric plot compared to a general superhero generic, ending and plot. I think that was a brilliant idea. I think it resonates a lot with women who in the workforce, and even if you're not in that category or you don't claim yourself in that category, I think you still can get enjoyment from this show, and that's why I think this excelled at it. And I appreciate Marvel for starting to tap into these different categories of superhero genre, and not, having the courage to actually do something and actually make a good show behind it. So I greatly appreciate what they did about this show. I think that She-Hulk was a great wake-up call to Marvel. It was a great wake-up call to Marvel's fans, of that just because something is not for you doesn't mean it's not good. It's not good television. That's why we have hundreds upon hundreds of television, hundreds upon shows, because there's some shows that are for this demographic, that demographic, for you personally, which you may not be the considered demographic, but you might generally enjoy it. And as I said, I think this was a show to really talk about women topics. Doesn't mean men couldn't like it. Doesn't mean that people who don't conform to a non-binary people could not enjoy this show either, even though it was maybe targeted to the regular cishet woman. So I greatly think that they did a splendid job with this show. Couple of things I said I didn't like. I feel like they struggled a little bit with the lawyer aspect of it. I know they were trying to be more campy, but like I said, I guess coming from somebody who I've watched, law shows and things like that, I think it's a great line that you have to play where, like, I don't know, those parts didn't engage me that much compared to the rest of the show. The lawyer aspects of it was very weak. But like it's literally just like when they're in the courtroom, because when they're doing like stuff outside for the case, more interesting. Loved her best friend Nikki. Loved Pug. Mallory, she was a boss, so loved her. I love the characters that came in for the shows. Like I like the Jacobs guy, but I just think the actual like lawyering part was very weak. Like sometimes it sounded like she like it was a joke that she was a lawyer. I don't know. It just came off odd to me. So wasn't a big fan of that. I really hope they come with a season 2 for this show. I think if they tighten up a little bit on the lawyering, it could be a great comedy show. Tap in a couple things, like, you know, the biggest thing is, like, you know, the Accords is gone, which is, you know, why did that happen? Was it because the snap? Was it pre-snap, post-snap? Because that was addressed in Miss Marvel, I think. So like I said, now we have a timeline issue of like, when is stuff happening and why is it happening? And it had to happen post-snap then, but then I don't know. It's interesting. I like I said, I think that they really are doing I think they're doing a good job. It's just hopefully they can like land the ending on the why, even if the why is not, because I said they tapped on the chorus, they tapped on Hulk, Planet Hulk a little bit. I hope it wasn't all, like I said, it doesn't all have to be just a shot at the super fans. I would love to see something actual come from it. It doesn't have to be as big as like with Loki and He Who Not Be Named and Kang, but something that, you know, can easily tie into probably like the new Captain America with Anthony Mackie, because they, of course, has to be a big situation, and that ties into almost every character. And of course, you know, we'll see. Of course, tying into Daredevil coming back. I want them to finally tell, like, I would rather, and I may be on the minority, I'd rather this be an alternate reality Daredevil than the Netflix Daredevil, because I think he was a bad Netflix Daredevil, but he was great as Daredevil. Like, he's not the same Daredevil. So I'd rather the Netflix shows just be an alternate reality, like another, you know, universe, and this is a brand new character that's maybe some things have changed that gave him this little more lighthearted Matt Murdock compared to the one we used to. Because that, I'm not gonna lie, that was very odd for me. So, but yeah, I said, just kind of said, I wanted to give a quick opinion. And I said, I'm kind of going to split these up a little bit just to give people's like taste and feel about this. Then the next thing he said I really would love to do, like, so the next thing I wanted to do is just kind of go through character rankings of the characters, just to kind of, you know, say like kind of my feels about every character, because I feel like this had a very diverse group of characters, and they gave everybody character posters, so I was like, might as well do a dive into each character, and it kind of gives the know-how. Alright, so we are back. Okay, so got our tier maker up here. So we're gonna kind of go through each character as so, and go for there. So going first is Daredevil, which is not Matt Murdock, which is right here. We have Daredevil. Daredevil, I'm gonna put him as a solid B. So the reason why I say that is because I love the more super powered Netflix characters than, because I feel like, because you can see it when it happened with Hawkeye, with Kingpin. He was very more impenetrable compared to when he was in Daredevil, and I think this Daredevil was way more athletic than the Netflix Daredevil. I just feel like he was doing a little bit crazier, more stunts, which I feel like will make him a more engaging superhero. Hopefully still grounded, but I do like the more stunts that Daredevil got to do in this episode, in these shows, especially more so his episode that he was in. So I'm gonna give him a B. More so for the stunts. Leapfrog. Goodness. Leapfrog. I'm gonna give him a C. The reason why I would do a C for Leapfrog is because I think he just seemed like he was very much a rich kid who had time on his hands to make a crime syndicate, which was weird. But he was funny. I liked his tagline. It was nice. And I mean, he did some villainous stuff. I mean, the whole episode was tiered around him, so I give him that. He's a C. It's not that hard. He wasn't amazing, but he was like, he was alright. Madison. What is it? Madison. With a Y, it's not what you think. She's a solid A character. She was only there for one episode. She was an amazing part of that episode. The voice, the delivery of lines. Her actress did a phenomenal job. The character overall, like I say, like the character was whatever, but her personally, amazing. Like the actress who played her, amazing. So the actress put her at A. Love to see her again, even if it is only on comedy episodes. I mean, the way how they're doing with Wong, hopefully she could still be around if Wong is becoming like the new Tony Stark, Nick Fury of Avengers. So I am fine with that. Matt Murdock. So this is actually Matt Murdock. I'm going to put a C. He was almost a D. And the reason why he is not D is because I still see Matt Murdock in him. But this Matt Murdock does not remind me of Netflix Matt Murdock. If they can confirm that this is a different universe than the Netflix show, he jumps up like 2. He was very much funny, very much A tier character. But if it's the same timeline as Netflix, I would say a C, because he's not the same. And I love the Netflix shows, except maybe Iron Fist. I really love them shows, and I'd rather them be their own entity than to change their character to keep within the timeline. So I rather that's what makes him a C compared to maybe an A, even an S. Because if he's his own person, he's like an A-S tier. Like, he's right in the middle. So I don't know. Nikki Ramos, S. She was love this girl. She was funny. She was hilarious. She was just, and you might as well just put Pug up there next to her, because those two together were great. They just delivery lines, how they acted, how they were vital parts of the season. Great characters. Never felt boring, never felt forced or cringy listening to them. So yeah, I would both put them as S tier characters. So I'm gonna jump around here. I'm gonna save some of the bigger players for later. Let's do Mallory. She was a solid A character. Mallory wasn't really there a lot, but I liked how her thing was kind of like, she was around to help Jennifer, and I hope that maybe if they do a season 2, she can kind of help with like rearing in that innate kind of being more grounded person of the team, compared to like Nikki and Pug, who are very more eccentric compared to, and kind of balance out the team dynamics between Nikki, Pug. So I liked her for that reason. So she's a solid A character, very memorable. The fact that I remember her name, does a good thing for me. So I think it's a solid character. Whereas like this girl, she's a D. The child, what's her name? The childhood friend that she was getting, that's the one who got married. Her name is Sally? Sharon? what is the dog was Jonathan, I think. She was trash. She was I didn't like the wedding scene personally. She was just a trash character. So yeah. And then the Donnie Blaze, he was a C. Not memorable. I might have got his name right. I think he's Donnie Blaze. He was okay. Like, I think because Madison was also in the episode, I just forgot about him, even though the episode was really about Donnie and Wong going back and forth. So maybe that's why Madison kind of ruined his chance to be like a solid B character, because Madison was such a standout. Then we have this guy. He was a solid B, and I don't remember his name. Jonathan? No, is he Jonathan? No. What is his name? Okay, maybe he's not that good of a character. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. But he was funny. He had those funny one-liners. Like when he called She-Hulk a tragedy, I was crying. But maybe he wasn't that memorable. I remember his name as like by the time I hit like save on this video. So, but he was a B. I think he was memorable. That was probably it. Titania, D character. I just didn't see her point. I mean, I didn't see her point. I just know her name was Titania because she was in the first episode, but I just didn't see her point. And then like even when they redid the season finale, she kept Titania in there, which still was confusing. Like, why I keep Titania? Like, I think they even forgot that Titania was also in the episode. Like, that means she's not memorable, right? Like, because if they forgot, I don't know. Wong's a solid B. Wong has not been my favorite character in recent times, but now that he's getting more airtime, I'm starting to like him more and more. So he's a solid B for right now. Very interested to see what he's going to do with Emil, the Abomination, because he let him leave, and I don't know if that was like Jen let him do that, or because I don't think it was Jen, because Jen wanted Emil to have some accountability. But why did he let him out? I mean, maybe it's a thank you for getting him to be a Sorcerer Supreme. I don't know what Wong's like final play is, but he's a solid B character. Emil, solid A character. He was great as the Abomination. I know some people will hate it because Abomination is a villain. He does more violent villainy things. Hopefully this is not the end of him. Now that we're getting the Hulk properties, hopefully we are going to, what you would call it, make that whole property line serious, and that includes the Hulk, the Abomination. Like, hopefully we can see, like, now that Marvel is getting them rights back, they'll actually treat them like real characters and make him dynamic. Like, the fact that he's willing to become the Abomination, hopefully we can see a more truer character. But I did like him as funny Abomination. I had no issues with it. Would love to see more from it. Then the Hulk himself, he's still like, I just again want to see a more serious adaptation of the character. That's all. Even though it's a comedy show, I don't know. I just wanted more from him. And I don't know. I've just never been a big fan of this iteration of the Hulk. And it's probably just the fact that I feel like they could do easily so much more with him, and they won't. I don't know. And then the girl herself, She-Hulk, I'll make her, with her clique, her little team, a ST character. I love She-Hulk. I loved Jen. I think that They were funny. They were engaging. I think she helped me keep this like I think if somebody else, it's also due to the actress too, but I feel like if somebody else was playing her, I wouldn't have stayed with She-Hulk that long. But the actress made Jen and She-Hulk so engaging, and she was so sweet and adorable that you was rooting for her to not have these bad people do things to her. So loved her. I think she was the sweetest character. I would love to see her in a, like I said, I think she's another character I would love to see in a more serious thing. I love that they made her grown, as in she was, getting it down with different men. Love that. I think that's very much empowering within itself too. I loved her as a whole. No complaints. So yeah, that's my ranking. For She-Hulk, I think I said next video I might go over each episode just because I wasn't around. I think that'd be my new thing, is to tier up characters, tier up episodes for shows, just so that we can kind of do a recap again. But yeah, I think this is where it's a good place to end. Again, as always, like, share, subscribe, rock with me. I rock with you. Let's build this up. So, with nothing else to do, peace out, y'all. Episode, just because I wasn't around. I think that'd be my new thing, is to tier up characters, tier up episodes for shows, just so that we can kind of do a recap again.